The details we're learning about the suspect involved this noon.
Governor Abbott's plan to reopen Texas continues slowly rolling out. What businesses will be allowed to offer curbside and delivery sales starting today?
And this morning's cool temperatures have quickly been replaced by hot temperatures. How hot will we go this afternoon? We've got your forecast coming up.
Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
We now know more about the man who was shot by San Antonio police yesterday after first firing at them.
That suspect, 52-year-old Michael Hogan, is in the hospital where he is being treated for 2 gunshot wounds.
As Katrina Weber reports, this was not his first run-in with police.
A mugshot shows a smiling 52-year-old Michael Hogan in jail after an arrest this past January. This time around, his run-in with San Antonio police ended with him in the hospital. They say he was shot twice yesterday afternoon after he first fired at an officer. Police say she had just pulled up to the 2600 block of Westward Drive to answer a burglary call when her patrol car was hit by bullets.
Struck it about 4 times, blew out the passenger window, hit the computer. Several other rounds hit the vehicle. I'm not sure. I don't know how she was not hit.
Chief William McManus says a second officer who arrived is the one who shot Hogan, hitting him in the leg and upper body. He's expected to recover and face charges for attempted capital murder of a police officer. According to online records, Hogan actually was out on bond when the shooting happened. And those records show that earlier charge had to do with possession of a controlled substance. That arrest record lists Hogan's address at the same apartment complex where the shooting happened.
The lady that's in the office came down here and said he came in there, he was evicted, and he came in there, he was angry that they evicted him.
That neighbor says he heard that Hogan had been making threats. Police were not able to confirm that, nor offer any explanation for what allegedly set him off. They say he simply responded to the sight of officers by firing a gun at them. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
An update of COVID-19 cases as the number of cases here in Bexar County continues to rise. We're up to 1,167 cases. Along with an increase in those cases, there was 4 additional deaths for a total of 43 now. 64 people are COVID-19 positive, are in the hospital, and 361 people have recovered from the illness.
President Trump has signed off on a new relief bill passed by the House last night. It includes funding for small businesses and hospitals. Meanwhile, the state of Georgia begins reopening some businesses today, as a new ABC News poll finds an overwhelming majority of Americans think stay-at-home orders are responsible. ABC's Inez de la Cuatara has more from Washington.
This morning, it's back to work for some businesses in Georgia. Governor Brian Kemp lifting restrictions for places like bowling alleys and hair salons.
When the governor was announcing, it was Monday, before he finished getting it out of his mouth, our phones were blowing up. Texts, calls, I want to be the first.
Atlanta's mayor calling the governor's decision dangerous.
There is nothing essential about going to a bowling alley or getting a manicure in the middle of a pandemic.
Also critical of the move, President Trump, who initially indicated he'd like to reopen the country by May 1st.
I wasn't happy with Brian Kemp. I will tell you that right now.
This, as a new ABC News Ipsos poll shows 86% of Americans think social distancing and stay-at-home orders are responsible policies. 82% of Republicans agree. President Trump now revealing he's not ruling out extending social distancing guidelines until the summer.
Until we feel it's safe, we're going to be extending.
With the Labor Department revealing more than 26 million Americans have filed for unemployment in the last 5 weeks, a new $484 billion relief package now heading to the president's desk after passing the House overwhelmingly last night.
The bill is passed.
Lawmakers returning to Washington to vote in person on the bipartisan measure, which includes funding for hospitals to expand COVID-19 testing and to replenish funding for the Paycheck Protection Program for small businesses.
And I want to tell the American people one more time, members are working daily to respond to the coronavirus that is putting our people and our country and our economy at risk.
On Monday, Arkansas, Colorado, Montana, and Mississippi will also begin lifting restrictions, with several other states to follow later in the week. Inez de la Cuatara, ABC News, Washington.
And once again, the president has signed that relief package. He did that just a few minutes ago. Reopening Texas starting today, more businesses can offer curbside pickup.
This is part of Governor Greg Abbott's plan to reopen the state economy. Today, Texas retailers that have been closed for weeks during the coronavirus pandemic can begin selling their goods curbside. The Texas economy has taken a hit in recent weeks because of non-essential businesses were closed and people have been encouraged to stay at home as much as possible. The state economy was also battered by plummeting oil prices. The governor said he would announce the next steps for opening up Texas in a new state declaration on Monday. And more stores in our area will start offering curbside sales. That includes stores at Ingram Park Mall and stores at North Star Mall. Check how it works and which stores are participating right now on KSAT.com. You can find this story on our homepage.
And starting tomorrow, Texans shop for emergency supplies tax-free. It's happening all weekend. Every spring in Texas, the state offers a tax holiday for emergency supplies to help people prepare for events like hurricanes and violent spring storms. Texas Comptroller Glenn Hager is urging people to make their purchases online if possible and to practice social distancing for in-store purchases. The tax-free holiday begins at 12:01 a.m. tomorrow, ends Monday night. Some of the items that are tax-free this weekend include first aid kits, fire extinguishers, and flashlights. Not included are things like toilet paper, face masks, and cleaning supplies. Right now on KSAT.com, we've got a list of all things that are tax-free this weekend and details on some common items that are not. Take a look, just search for emergency preparedness to find the story.
A traffic alert for you. Expect some road closures on the north side of town this weekend. Construction crews will be working on Hartberger Park Land Bridge. Wurzbach Parkway will be closed between Northwest Military Highway and Blanco Road. This will affect both east and westbound traffic. It starts at 9 p.m. tonight and ends Monday at 5 a.m. During that time, crews will be putting up support beams for the land bridge. When it's completed, the bridge will connect both sides of Hartberger Park so people and animals cross safely.
An affidavit is revealing details about an apparent accidental shooting that left a 17-year-old girl dead on the north side. According to police, the shooting happened inside an SUV as 4 people were waiting for a drug deal. It was happening Monday night, and this was near Broadway Street and Ridgecrest Drive. 20-year-old Eleazar Jacob Flores was sitting in the back seat when he shot his gun, and 17-year-old Madeline Pindon. Police say she was sitting in the front passenger seat. Officers say Flores apologized and claimed he didn't know the gun was loaded. Police tell us Flores then ran off while still holding the gun. Flores was arrested on Thursday, charged with manslaughter. In San Antonio, police still have not found the suspects involved in an overnight shooting. It happened a little after 1 at the Circle K on Blanco Road, not far from Wurzbach Parkway. Police said the victim was trying to break up a fight at a gas pump, and that's when he was shot in the neck. He was rushed to University Hospital. The 2 suspects took off in a silver car. So far, no arrests have been made.
The Bexar County Medical Examiner says a man who was hit by a van while crossing the street died in the hospital. It happened near Hillcrest and Bandera last night around 9:30. The driver did stop to help the man, and they do not believe the driver was intoxicated. And Fiesta may be postponed, but that's not stopping some people from celebrating. Still ahead on the news at noon, how one local elementary made its celebration one to remember.
And the Cowboys got an unexpected surprise last night when their pick came up in the first round of the NFL draft. Larry Ramirez with that coming up in sports.
The Fiesta Especial Royal Court handed out more donations today. This time, the checks went to the Family Service Association. The nonprofit offers many resources for people in the community, including youth education programs, counseling services, and help with workforce training. Today's presentation featured the piñata mascot, a stuffed piñata bull, and a radio flyer wagon.
Not only do we help vulnerable populations in need across our community, we specifically provide some of our support to those with disabilities, both visible and invisible disabilities in our community. And to be able to help our clients at this point in time with everything going on today, this check means so much more to us at this point in time.
The Fiesta Especial Royal Court raised thousands of dollars while they were campaigning for their spots. They've been handing out a portion of that money to local organizations all week.
Love how they reveal those checks. The at-home Fiesta celebrations continue across the city, and even schools are now having some fun with it.
Classrooms may be empty, but one NEISD elementary school decided to take a break from homework assignments to carry out a years-long tradition and bring joy to their students.
Alicia Barrera spoke to third graders at Harmony Hills Elementary on their virtual Fiesta celebration.
Tradition has now had to be replaced by virtual events, even for Fiesta.
Happy Fiesta, third grade!
For years, Fiesta for NEISD's Harmony Hills Elementary meant a celebration with floats and music.
Churchill High School that comes, and they have a band, so they would have their band come and they would play music for us. And then our principal, Mr. Raucus, would come and he would lead the parade.
Virtually, Principal Raucus still led the parade organized by third grade teachers.
We wanted to still carry on the tradition at our school and make the kids have something to look forward to, and also their parents and the community.
Mrs. Kamansky says educators are simply looking for ways to keep the kids engaged and happy. And when the Fiesta assignment was announced, they got just that.
Oh, so I had these army figures that I like to create model battle scenes with, and I grabbed a box and I found a camouflage bandana.
Logan says he wouldn't have been able to design his best creation yet if it weren't for the school shutdown due to COVID-19. Because of that, other students even got their siblings and parents involved in the activity.
Usually at school we would be there for like almost the whole day, but since I'm not there for like almost the whole day, then I have a lot of time to get my float done.
Floats were inspired by Michael Jackson, paper flowers, dinosaurs, a piano, and more. Others, like third grader Evan, stuck to traditional Fiesta colors and featured a taco on his float. Another third grader put their float on a remote control car.
I get real excited to see the smiles on their face, and at this time I think they're tired of being cooped up in the house, just doing their assignments for us and giving them the opportunity to do something fun and having some more family time at home with their friends.
This is an activity that families can participate in as part of their at-home Fiesta. All you need is a shoe or tissue box and materials you already have at home to decorate. It's also something that you can do during today's rebroadcasting of last year's Battle of the Flowers Parade. It airs here on KSAT today at 2 p.m. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Outside with live cam. I think Logan was saying that math, science, and reading kind of get in the way of float building. So we had more time at home.
All those projects were creative.
That were great stuff. But you know what? It feels like Fiesta with those kids showing off those floats, and you go outside and it feels like Fiesta.
Yeah, it does. It's Battle of Flowers Day, and the temperatures are warming up big time. We're going to see some 90s on the map today. I think we could see some triple digits out west. Only last one day, so it's not going to be all that bad. The aquifer is down to 670. It's down to 0.8 of a foot, so it continues to really drop off here. And in the pollen count, we have high counts of mold. It's at 1,950. Hopefully that number goes down with some drier air moving in. Everything else is in the low category. We're going to talk about this heat, cold front, and what you can expect this weekend coming up. Welcome back. We started off really comfortable this morning. We had some drier air in place, dropped down to 57 degrees. Felt great. Now temperatures are really starting to crank up, and we're going to see a huge swing by this afternoon. These are the high temperatures expected around the area. 96 here in San Antonio, triple digits. Yep. Out west, 101 Uvalde, 102 Eagle Pass potentially this afternoon with lots of sun out of here. Here's why. We have a dry line in place, so the moisture has increased just a little bit, but this dry line is going to be sweeping east today, so we'll get some drier air in here. We're out ahead of a cold front. Typically when you're out ahead of the cold front, temperatures can get a little bit warmer very quickly, and that's what we're going to deal with until this front moves through, and then it cools down some, and we'll have a pretty nice weekend. Now, I will point out this front is going to help create some stronger storms up to our north and east today, so places like Texarkana, Tyler, Arkansas, parts of Louisiana, that's where they can see some big-time storms with that front. We're not going to see any of that. We just don't have the dynamics in place to get storms to develop. Outside right now, blue skies, 87 degrees. Dew point is at 60, so that number is trying to creep up a little bit. South-southwesterly winds at about 14 miles per hour. And temperatures are in the upper 80s in most spots. 88 degrees Port SA. We're already starting to see some 90s on the map. Castroville down to Devine. You're checking in at 90 degrees there. 84 in Kerrville. 88 in New Braunfels. 91 in Carrizo Springs. That'll be one of the hot spots this afternoon. 87 Victoria. 88 right now in Beeville. There's a look at the dew points. So we've got dew points in the 60s now. That starts to take us into the muggy territory. But as you get out west, you'll see those numbers dropping off, and that dry air comes in from the west initially. And then we'll get some of the drier air coming in from the north with that cold front. So humidity's gone this weekend. It's going to be really nice. Here's a look at the dew point over time here. So by, I'd say this evening, we're looking at dew points in the 50s. And they pretty much stay there through Sunday. It's not until Monday that the moisture starts to come back. We're also looking at some breezy winds today. Winds gusting close to 30 miles per hour there in Hondo. But I'd say anywhere from 10 to 20 mile per hour winds today. And then tomorrow they'll be pretty breezy too with the cold front. We'll get more of a northerly wind though tomorrow. So the forecast for today takes us up to 96 for a high, and then temperatures slow to fall off this evening. 92 by 7 o'clock, 80 by 10 o'clock. South-southwesterly winds anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour. And we also have an ozone action day in place today. I meant to mention that high levels of ozone in the atmosphere. So if you have asthma or anything like that, something to remember. 83 coming up tomorrow. Breezy, cooler behind the front, 85 on Sunday. Humidity returns on Monday, so the clouds start to build back in. We'll see some morning clouds, and then we'll get an outside chance of a storm or two Tuesday into Wednesday. There is a chance that we could see a strong storm Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on if we can get them to pop up. So that'll be worth watching middle part of next week. In the meantime, though, hot today, a little bit cooler over the weekend. That's the good news, guys.
A lot of people have been investing in bicycles, I've noticed. So this is like a perfect weekend just to go outside to the park and go on your bicycle.
Get out and enjoy. Speaking of enjoying, the virtual NFL draft last night was pretty good. Started off great, and then it kind of turned into a draft.
Yeah, it was better than I thought it would be. Yep. And one moment that really took Twitter by storm last night is when CeeDee Lamb had a phone call with the Dallas Cowboys after they were drafting him. He was on his phone like this. He had another cell phone on his lap. Well, his girlfriend took it, and look what he did. He took it right back, but they explained afterwards what was going on. Plus, as expected, quarterback Joe Burrow goes number one. Coming up.
With the first pick in the 2020 draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Joe Burrow, quarterback, LSU.
Yeah, Joe Burrow went number one overall in the 2020 NFL draft, and he celebrated by hugging his dad and mom in Big Board Sports.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy, team owner Jerry Jones, first pick working together as wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. The Oklahoma Sooner was projected by some to go earlier, but he was still there at pick 17, so the Cowboys snagged him, giving Dak Prescott another playmaker. The boys' offense is stacked with wideouts Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Lamb, and running back Ezekiel Elliott. So what is Dak getting in Lamb?
He's definitely going to get an ultimate competitor, a guy that's willing to learn, and can't wait to get used to, helping him and just helping him look like a better quarterback, and he's helping me look like a better receiver. So.
Jerry Jones, working from his $250 million yacht, was all smiles and very happy before the Lamb selection was announced. The Cowboys needed help on defense, but Jerry could not pass up the speedy wide receiver.
We had him as our sixth pick on the board. At the end of the day, Lamb made the decision. He was good enough to take our pick above other guys we could have picked and felt very good about.
And here's the moment that had people laughing and talking when Lamb's girlfriend, Crimson Rose, grabbed his other cell phone after his name was called, and Lamb took it right back. People joked that Lamb put his elite hands on display. Now, Lamb and Rose hit up Twitter to calm people down afterward. He told everybody to chill. Rose said Lamb's agent was FaceTiming him while he was on the phone with the Cowboys, and she was doing the GF thing by answering for him. Sheesh. That's what she said. Tonight is rounds 2 and 3. The Cowboys will pick 19th in the second round round, 51st overall, and 18th in round 3, the 82nd overall selection. After no first-round picks, the Texans will draft 2 players tonight, one in round 2, one in round 3. That's the 40th and 90th overall selections. Quarterback Joe Burrow was the first player selected in the first ever virtual draft. That's after NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell had to cancel the draft set for Las Vegas due to the coronavirus and resort to announcing picks from the basement of his home in New York. The Bengals had plenty of offers to trade their number 1 pick, but they did not budge. After throwing for 60 touchdowns and just 6 interceptions for the Tigers on their way to a national title, Burrow was at his home with mom and dad as he was drafted number 1.
I wasn't very good my junior year. You know, it's pretty simple. I worked really hard to get better. All my guys worked really, really hard to get better. And we just gelled as a team this year to do exactly what we did. I knew I was going to have a really good season because I knew, you know, we had really good players coming back. I had great coaches, and we were going to work really, really hard to do it. But to jump up to number 1 overall is crazy to me. But it's a dream come true.
And he didn't have a cell phone incident.
No, he did. That was some of the most entertaining parts about the whole evening, though, was dipping in on these guys' houses because they had the general managers and the coaches. They were all sitting at home, their kids running around the house.
Well, one of the defensive tackles who was drafted, I don't remember the kid's name, somebody in his family was on the couch, and when they took the camera shot, he fell onto the floor, and he was like kicking around because he was so excited that, you know, his family member got drafted.
That may be something they want to keep because that was good entertainment.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Do you think for the first time them doing this it went smooth?
Oh,
I feel like it went very smoothly, yes.
For the first time, yeah. I think
Maybe they'll do it next time again. Who knows? Who knows?
Kind of missed the crowd, though.
Yeah.
Hey, still ahead in our next half hour, what some local high school students are doing to celebrate important milestones like graduation.
And right now is a good time to job search since the economy is slowly opening back up. After the break, why you need to be careful if you're looking for jobs online.
In Spain, more people are recovering from COVID-19 than those who are contracting the virus. Almost 2,800 new infections were confirmed today, while about 3,100 people overcame the virus. Health and government officials in Spain are now going to meet today to discuss proposals on rolling back the 6-week lockdown.
President Donald Trump held a signing ceremony today for the nearly $500 billion small business relief package. It's aimed to help employers and hospitals struggling due to the coronavirus pandemic. House lawmakers met in the Capitol for the first time since March 27th. While adopting stricter social distancing rules, they aim to prove work can be done despite the COVID-19 crisis.
With a record number of Americans filing for unemployment, a rash of online criminals are looking to cash in on people seeking jobs during the crisis. The Department of Justice says it has disrupted hundreds of online COVID-19 scams. These scammers are posing online as legitimate job postings, but really they're not. They just want your money.
Part of the reason why I was extra sold on the job was because it would be helping put out material that would be educational for people during this time.
Instead, Arella received a fraudulent check from the company. It was to be used for a new work computer. Never came because the check bounced. Identity theft, also another concern when it comes to these online scams. To protect yourself from falling for those scams, don't search the phrase work from home when it comes to looking for a job.
The maker of Lysol released a statement saying its products should not be consumed as an internal treatment for COVID-19. This comes after what the company called, quote, recent speculation, quote, after President Donald Trump raised the possibility of disinfectants being injected to combat the virus. The disinfectant manufacturer said that, quote, under no circumstance should our disinfectant products be administered into the human body, end quote.
It is one of the big questions that is facing our future now. When can Americans return to work? The FDA commissioner says a test may be a key to help answer that question.
As the country starts to see positive signs that the stay-at-home orders and social distancing are working to help fight the spread of coronavirus, pro Protests in several cities across the country are making it clear some Americans are getting antsy to get back to work. The commissioner for the U.S. Food and Drug Administration says antibody tests may play a role in deciding when the U.S. can reopen. In a statement, Dr. Stephen Hahn says results from antibody tests, also known as serological tests, can help identify who has been infected and developed antibodies that may protect from future infection, as well as identify those still at risk. He says those results can also identify who may qualify to donate blood that can be used to manufacture convalescent plasma, an investigational product for use with those who are seriously ill from COVID-19. Hahn says the FDA is now working to make reliable antibody testing widely available by continuing to provide the opportunity for interested developers to request FDA authorization.
Outside, beautiful Friday, 87 degrees. Are you seeing that?
Sky.
No, no clouds.
Nope, not one.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Blue skies. It is warm right now. Temperatures up to 87 here in town. We've already got some 90s on the map. We're going to see some triple digits today. Maybe not here in San Antonio, but some places around South Texas will see that extreme heat. Let's take a look at a picture first on our KSAT Connect. This is from, let's see, BV Endeavor. Somewhere along those lines. A beautiful picture of a butterfly there. A lot of critters out this time of year, and we got some great pictures coming in. We appreciate it. And she said this little butterfly loved his picture being taken. He almost let me touch it. So there you go. Great shot. We appreciate it. 82 degrees Bernie Stage, 84 Kerrville, 87 Comfort, 88 right now in Bandera, some 90s already around Castroville and Devine. With these clear skies and drier air in and around, west of San Antonio at least, these numbers are going to shoot up pretty quickly. I do want to pass along, though, there is an ozone action day in place today. Some higher levels of ozone pollution in place. The air is kind of stagnant this afternoon, so be aware of that. That can cause issues with asthma and those sort of things. Forecast for today, 93 by 2 o'clock. We're going to go up to 96 for a high, 92, 7 o'clock. It's going to be a warm evening with southwesterly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. But a frontal boundary does move in tonight, cools us down. The weekend looks fantastic. We're going to take a look at that, plus some rain chances next week. We'll have the latest in just a few minutes. Guys.
Thanks, Justin. The San Antonio Spurs are encouraging fans to complete 2.6 miles or work out for 26 minutes as part of their virtual Fiesta de los Spurs run, while social distancing, of course. The event is all part of #@HomeFiesta. Those wanting to participate can do several things to show support for the official nonprofit. You can stay active by walking, running, biking. You can make a donation to the organization as well. The partnership with Fiesta San Antonio will be tomorrow. Participating fans are also being asked to use the hashtag on your screen and tag the Spurs Give account on social media. Make sure you do that from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. for a chance to win free entry to the actual run, which is coming up November 14th.
And if you're looking for ways to have some Fiesta-themed fun, join us as we rebroadcast last year's parades.
Looking forward to this. It's coming up today. We're showing you last year's Battle of Flowers parade at 2 this afternoon. You can watch Fiesta Flambeau tomorrow, and the band festival will re-air on Sunday. Check the full schedule right now on KSAT.com. The story is in our homepage. And while you're watching, tag us on social media using the hashtag KSATFiesta on Twitter. We might use your post in our social media ticker during the parades.
Also on our website, several community galleries, including this one full of your best Fiesta wreaths. Now we want to see more, so keep uploading your pictures. We have galleries for Fiesta medals and Fiesta hats. You can find it all on KSAT.com. And high school students in our community are finding ways to celebrate milestones. We spoke with one student who went to Central Catholic this morning to take graduation pictures. Seth Gomez is a senior, and while he may not be able to do some of the things a normal high school senior can do because of the coronavirus outbreak, he can still mark a major life event, graduation, with pictures. He and a photographer set up for a photo shoot in front of his high school. Seth even took a picture wearing a face mask. His mom tells us she was hoping for a little more fanfare for her youngest child as he closes a chapter and moves on to the next.
It's been kind of sad. We're missing out. Today was supposed to be his prom, but instead we're going to spend it at home. He's taking the news pretty good for being a boy, I think, but I'm more sad, I think, than he is, since he's my last one. We'll be empty nesters after this one.
Seth's mom says she's not sure if her son will get a have a traditional graduation ceremony, but he does plan to attend Texas State in the fall.
Hey, still to come this half hour, we've got some sad news from the Dak Prescott family. Larry Ramirez with that coming up in sports.
And as the economy slowly reopens, more companies are looking to hire more workers after the break when Instacart plans to hire an additional 250,000 workers.
Never miss a story. Watch live or when you want. San Antonio's latest news and weather, streaming free on KSAT TV.
Welcome back. In your consumer news, Taco Cabana's parent company is reevaluating whether it is eligible for the $15 million federal aid it received as part of Congress's COVID-19 economic relief package. Now, the Small Business Administration issued new guidance on loans that were part of the relief package. Some small businesses fell through the cracks and missed out on the first round of the loans as larger companies were given aid. More than $300 billion will be spent by Congress to continue certain aid programs.
Instacart plans to hire 250,000 new workers. That in addition to the 300,000 the company brought in recently. The grocery delivery service has seen a surge in demand spurred by the coronavirus pandemic. The company wants to hire the new workers over the next couple of months. Instacart's goal is to be able to meet the recent demand and, quote, get back to same-day delivery. The startup says some customers have struggled in recent weeks to secure delivery slots due to the high demand.
And outside, that is such a beautiful picture out there. 87 degrees, right?
I mean, what else is there to say, right? That's as good as it gets. Really, really nice at the moment. Now, it is going to be a little bit hot this afternoon. We're at 87 right now, already above average for the day. The average temperature for this date, 82. Average low is 61. We were below that this morning, but we're going to jump way above the average high today. Record is 99. That was set way back in 1894. Yes, they did keep records back then. I don't think we'll quite get there, but we'll get close. We're going to talk about those warm temperatures and a cool down and some thunderstorm chances next week coming up.
Welcome back.
Beautiful day. It feels like Fiesta. A lot of people are figuring out a way to celebrate today with the parade coming up at 2 o'clock to rebroadcast on KSAT 12. And if you go outside, you'll go, ooh.
Yeah. And you're wearing your Fiesta tie?
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Ready you can almost with a purpose. Smell the corn in the cup. The tortillas. You can almost smell it. Chicken on a stick, yeah. It is Battle of Flowers Day. We're going to be showing you that a little bit later. Also, the anniversary of a couple of events. The Hubble telescope was launched on this date back in 1990. Also, back in 2007, I'm sure the folks in Eagle Pass remember this day pretty well. A tornado hit there, did a lot of damage. Initially, there was a tornado there in Piedras Negras and then crossed the border into Eagle Pass. And unfortunately, 10 folks lost their life from that tornado as it moved through. A very damaging, sad day there around Eagle Pass. Thankfully, no severe weather that we're dealing with today. And in fact, it's just the heat. 96 degrees, the expected high temperature here in San Antonio today. 104, Carrizo Springs, 103 in Cotulla. The temperatures are going to be very, very warm this afternoon. Thankfully, it'll be more of a dry heat, but still those numbers are very, very summer-like. And outside right now, we've got blue skies. 87 degrees at the airport. Dew point is at 60. South-southwesterly winds at about 14 miles per hour. And that southwesterly wind's going to help us bring those temperatures up. We're already up to 89 in Tarpley, 86 in Hondo, 80 right now in Floresville, 88 in New Braunfels, and widening out a little bit, 87 in Victoria, 86 in LaGrange, and then there are the 90s already showing up, 93 in Carrizo Springs, 90 right now in Laredo. The winds are starting to kick up some too, 23 mile per hour winds there in Kerrville, 29 mile per hour winds in Hondo. We're going to see a little gusts, a few gusts higher than that as we go into the afternoon. And it will be gusty tomorrow too because we'll get a northerly wind behind the front. So a breezy today and into your Saturday. Dew points, they're in the 60s right now. They'll come up a little bit as we get maybe into early afternoon, but by late in the day, we should start to see some dry air coming to us from the west. And that's going to, again, help to boost those temperatures. When you get dew points in the 30s, it's very, very dry air and it tends to heat up pretty quickly. The moisture goes away almost completely tomorrow because that frontal boundary drops south. And then with that northerly wind, dew points drop off into the 40s. So the weekend promises to be great. In fact, the evenings are going to be just perfect for walks or bike rides or whatever you got planned of course, with everything going on. Futurecast shows the area of low pressure off to our north slides east, so there is going to be some severe weather today, I think, across northeast Texas. This front does not bring us any rain. Should be here by tonight. And then that dry air, as we talked about, filters in tomorrow. That severe weather risk, it basically stretches from southeast Oklahoma into Arkansas, northwestern Louisiana, and extreme northeastern Texas. They could see some more big-time storms today. Meantime, for us, again, the dew points falling off nicely. We'll be in the 50s as far as the dew points are concerned into the weekend. So the forecast, 96 degrees today, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then coming up tomorrow, much cooler in the low 80s, at least comparatively speaking. Breezy, 85 on Sunday, 87 Monday, with humidity returning to the forecast, and then maybe a couple thunderstorms Tuesday and Wednesday. A couple days I want to watch because we have a frontal boundary moving in, and that may kick up some storms. If we were to see some storms, it's possible they could be on the stronger side. A little early to say that yet, but just something to watch next week, guys.
Thanks, Justin.
One thing we did get yesterday during the NFL draft last night was some insights and some inside looks at people's homes and their yachts. And
some people had
stuff.
really simple setups in their kitchen, their basement, whatever, but not Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones working the 2020 NFL draft from inside his yacht with some of his family there, and he got the guy he wanted, CeeDee Lamb. And former Steelhead football coach Mike Jinks wants to come back to San Antonio, but he's stuck in the LA area. We got it coming up.